Hello everyone, I just saw American Made and I have to say it made up for The Mummy this year in 2017. So stop right here because this shit is about to get serious. Hello everyone, I just saw American Made. Now, American Made is directed by Doug Liman, who did The Bourne Identity and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, as well as Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. The movie stars Tom Cruise as Barry Seal, Sarah Wright as his wife, and Domhnall Gleeson as a CIA agent. And it follows the character of Barry Seal, and this is based on a true story. This is Tom Cruise's third biopic, being after Born on the 4th of July and Valkyrie. So yeah, it follows Barry Seal, and he's a pilot. He flies airplanes for a living. And upon one stop, he is encountered by Domhnall Gleeson's character, who works for the CIA. He wants him to work for the CIA and have him smuggle and deliver stuff to other countries, other South American countries. So he starts off delivering different packages onto weapons, and then drugs. And that's where he gets tied into Pablo Escobar and his cartel. And the whole movie is pretty much about the war on drugs in the 80s, but also Uncle Sam controlling that drug trade in the 80s and the war on drugs. So it shows this whole other facet to the whole drug climate of the 1980s. It's very interesting. It reminds me of a film called Blow with Johnny Depp, but it also has elements of The Infiltrator, as well as Narcos and Miami Vice. It's a very different type of movie with Tom Cruise. This isn't the Tom Cruise that runs around from a giant dirt cloud or like saves the world from total annihilation. No, this is a very different and real character. It's definitely more like his performances in Jerry Maguire or The Firm. A lot of his earlier movies, he plays a very real character, but Tom Cruise just gives that Tom Cruise charisma, so he makes the character very relatable. And like other gangster films in a way, it kind of has that motif of like this regular person being thrown into this world and then prospering from it, but also rising too fast. So American Made definitely has that element going for it. It's a very well-made film, I would say. It's a surprise of the year. I wasn't sure what to expect from this film, and it really surprised me. It's one of the more interesting biopics. It's very interesting to see that climate of like Ronald Reagan in the 1980s, communism, freaking Contras, and stuff like that. It's very interesting to see that history unfold in the movie. But I also like how they're authentic to the time, whether it be time period, VHS effects, devices such as Atari, different Cadillacs. They're very faithful to the time period. Now, the film starts in 1978 and it goes on to like the mid-80s. It's a very interesting film to say the least, and it's really kind of interesting to see history told in a different way, to see like how much influence the government had behind the scenes during this whole drug climate of the 1980s. And it kind of makes you think about modern events now, like what does the government have? It also hints at future stuff with Iran. But very, very well done movie. It's about an hour and 55 minutes, and there's one con I have with this movie is that the pacing is just a little bit too fast. It's a little bit jarring at the beginning, but you do get used to the pacing, and it does feel long. It feels like the right length by the end of the movie. By the end of the movie, it's just fantastic, and this is one of the most well-done biopics in recent memory. It's his first R-rated movie in almost 10 years since Tropic Thunder, so it is very interesting. Overall, they're solid performances. I like the way it's shot. There's very grand shots, and there's also like some handheld shaky cam that makes it feel more grounded, to make some of the devices look authentic for the time. Above all, if I had to give American Made a score, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 and an A-. It was a pleasant surprise in a season of films that has been very lackluster. This was a total surprise by me, and again, it made up for The Mummy. And one of my favorite Tom Cruise roles in recent memories. Him and Doug Liman are just great together. Their last collaboration was Edge of Tomorrow. So yeah, a 3.5 out of 5 and an A-. If you haven't seen American Made, I would highly recommend it. But if you're not a fan of Tom Cruise or like drug films, I would probably suggest a rental. But if you are a fan of Tom Cruise, you owe yourself to see this film. It's one of his better roles and one of his better films lately, and it's a really, really great film, very insightful, and again, it took me by surprise. It's interesting. It's a film that you didn't know you wanted to see. And if you have seen American Made, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of American Made? And yeah, if you like this video, click the like button, comment, and subscribe. for more videos.